Luke, good to see you. Today we are talking about three retirement risks that could cause you to run out of money, which is, of course, everyone's number one fear in retirement. Life expectancies are at an all-time high. Today, a couple age 65 has a 50% chance of living beyond 90, which is why the first risk is known as longevity risk.
Yeah, it's often a little bizarre to think about longevity and increases in longevity in modern medicine as a bad thing.
Right.
It's not a bad thing, right? It's a wonderful thing. But on the flip side of that, for a lot of people, you may be trying to provide yourself retirement income for nearly as long as you were working. Life expectancies have continued to climb over the past several decades, and we're at the point now where you can see on the graph there, if you both make it to the age of 65 in a married couple, there's around a 50% chance that one of you will make it beyond the age of 90. And so
Wow.
that's something we certainly have to take into account, is just that we're providing ourselves with retirement income for a much longer amount of time than just a few decades ago.
Right. Yeah. That should just be exclusively good news if you are living
Yes.
longer. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Risk number two, though, changes to Social Security. It is very likely benefits or qualifications will have to change. And I was surprised to learn that among those who rely on Social Security, that benefit makes up 50% of their income.
Yeah, and for a lot of retirees, it's even more than 50%.
Yeah.
The Social Security program has obviously been something that's been in the news recently with the financial health of the overall Social Security funds, and it's certainly a concern. With that increase in longevity, we've now got people that are receiving Social Security for a lot longer amount of time than what the program was originally designed for, and so there's a lot of possibilities around there probably has to be some sort of changes to the program to help with the financial health of it over time. Was reading an article just this week about the Social Security funds that were originally set to be short on cash in 2034. It's now set to be 2033. So there's probably going to have to be some sort of taxation changes or income changes in order to reconcile that.
Right. All right, risk number three. I feel like we've been talking about this one for so long, inflation, right? And high inflation means simply you'll have to use more of your retirement savings each year to maintain your quality of life.
Yeah, and inflation is one of those things that a lot of do-it-yourself planners don't necessarily factor in inflation into their
Right.
long-term retirement plans. It's been a pretty hot topic here, 2022, 20 into 2023, and I know that that year's not necessarily included on this chart. 2022 would actually be off the chart here for
Right.
historical inflation rates. In the past, building in 2 to 3% for an inflationary factor in your spending would be sufficient, and that's still a pretty good average if we take this back, a decade or two. But certainly something we're going to have to be wary of. I know everyone feels it in, gas prices and groceries and everything else, and those are things that aren't going away in retirement. So we
Hmm.
certainly have to factor in inflation when we
Hmm.
start to think about having enough money to get by and to continue to live comfortably in retirement.
Hmm. The good news is these risks are known, so we can address them now. So, Luke, what are the specific strategies then that address these risks?
We always talk about one, starting sooner rather than later, right? The best time to start that plan is the day that you start working. The second best time would be today. And
Hmm.
so, setting yourself up to have guaranteed income sources, setting yourself up to have a diversification of your assets so that some things are guaranteed, some things are more safe, some things are growth centric. And that's a good way to make sure that you've got kind of different pools of money that you can dip into over a period of time to get you out to make the fact of having longevity be a good thing, like we had talked about.
Right. Just something to celebrate. Good plan.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Luke, clearly, then the sooner that you can have this conversation, the better. What's the best way to reach you with questions?
As always, they can get a hold of us by phone here in the office, 937-498-1128, or go to our website, ikenberryretirement.com. You can schedule an appointment right there on our homepage.
All right. Luke, thank you.
Thank you.